excited here today. I want to share this nifty little thing that I got. This is my current phone, and as you can see, it's got a Spigen case on, and it's one of those transparent ones. Good quality. You know, I got it on day one and I dropped it immediately. Just fell out my pocket when I sat down. So I'm a believer in cases, and as good as Apple's products are, and they've made a lot of advertising around the fact that the new iPhone 11 Pro Max is, well, I wouldn't say indestructible, but much more resistant to falling down and stuff. But well, it's still a physical product made out of steel, glass. Oh, look at that, shiny, awesome. Barely a fingerprint. But it's still a product which can potentially break. So to protect this investment, which, you know, effectively it is a product investment, right? So I'd like to keep it in a case and make the best of it, make it last. And I don't see why not. So this is, you know, it's a great default case. It's hard, solid, you know, just soft at the edges. It's got these little air bubbles where, you know, if it falls, it doesn't, you know, directly transfer it to the corner of the phone, but it pushes it out to the sides. I have had an earlier phone, a Samsung Note, in fact, which I sat down on concrete, yes, and I sat down, it slipped out of my pocket and fell at a 45-degree angle, about 10 centimeters, and cracked across the screen. So that's put me off from going caseless, and I've always been in a trusty case ever since. So I ordered something which I thought was interesting, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. The Just metal case. Let me just zoom this out a little bit so you guys can see better. And I'll just do a quick opening of it. There's not much to see around here. Just a standard cardboard box. There's a QR code. I'm sure it's fine. When you open it up, zoom, you get this very interesting design. Is like an exoskeleton for your phone, and let's not waste any more time, pop it on. So you can see over here, it goes over here like so, and getting messages already. You can see a full exoskeleton. And to see what else is in the box, here you get plastic box casing, you get the user manual, which is, yeah, don't really read those. You get a screwdriver, so I guess you want to tighten that case. And you got some extra spare screws, I guess, or smaller screws. No, the smallest screws are new, so I'll just, I get it. I'll tell you what that is. The smallest screws are meant for backup for these guys. Smaller ones over here. The big ones the flat heads are meant for over here. We got some extra spongy materials. We got some corner cutouts, looks like, a little fix over here. I can see how that would all fit in. So let me just take that off, you know, the tease is over. You can see, how does this work? So you got little spongy material on each corner. So I guess that keeps your actual phone from touching the physical device. I'm sure the zoom on this is terrible, but let me just give it a try. Yeah, okay, so you're not touching the physical device, and the whole back as well is sponged slightly. So this is designed to fit pretty much any phone, I would say. I mean, it's not just an iPhone per se, because I'm quite sure I can fit it on anything really, because there's nothing getting in the way of any cameras or something. I know this particular model was built with probably the new iPhones in mind, but it could have very well been built for any other iPhone or any other phone, really. All you're looking for is the curved edges, which is important, yes. And the camera cutout of the glass, it actually doesn't touch that, so it never actually comes close. And there's a sufficient gap behind the phone. So I'm gonna just screw this in so we're not dancing around. And I can see there's little holes over here so that cutouts. Let's get closer so you can see the work. You can see there's little holes, cutouts over here. So that's meant to secure that in place for a specific model. So I'm squeezing as hard as I can. And what I did want to do is make sure that, so this is the camera up here. And so there's a little bit of moving that it could do if I don't secure it properly. So I'm going to secure it so that it fits that ridge. Go ahead and do that. Tight. Very tight. Yeah. Cool. 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 Tight as it is. This one, interestingly, this can go a little bit in. I don't know how much gap I'm supposed to give. Okay, I don't want it to rock, right? So I'd like to get it as locked in as possible. So even though it doesn't actually, I'll talk about this in a second. Even though it doesn't actually fit the exact ridge, because I can push it in further, I'll try and get it as in as possible. And this is where I'm just being probably a little extra over here to make sure that it fits in tight. Tight. Go. And take this and go as tight as you can. Oh, it is moving a little bit. Okay. But you know what? Oh, still a bit loose. This is tight, so I'm gonna tighten. I think I've tightened the top part. Now let me just tighten the bottom half as much as possible. I'm just pushing this in, so really not giving any room, because what I'm hoping for, what I'm banking on is this taking any of the beating. Typically it's the corners that take a beating. Just lose this quickly, push this in, and tighten. There we go. Snug as a bug. Snug. Alright, let's take a closer look. If you can see that here, you can see there's a little bit of a gap with the metal and the actual phone body. And if you see over here, there's definitely a gap. Over here it's just a little hard to see, but over at the bottom end you can see there's a gap. So you can see through it. So it's not actually touching the back with the metal. And just talk a little bit about the metal. It is definitely solid metal. I guess it's probably milled steel. And here, fairly crisp metal. You can tell this has been milled. You know, it's quite solid. I mean, it feels very metallic. This screws, and I'm hoping it'll stay on. And then we got this toggle over here. I mean, this little ring, which I guess is just a normal ring. I don't know how much it'll hold, but definitely fairly solid. I don't want to break it day one, right? But yeah, so how does it look? It definitely feels like a premium made case. You know, if you look at the top-down view, you can see that it has, you know, it can sit on its own. The main point of most of these phones is the corners are protected, so that's what I'm taking care of. With this case, it feels like it's got a slightly, you know, sort of metallic touch on the side, but otherwise, since I'm holding the body, it feels like I'm just holding the phone, and this obviously gives me a little extra to hold on to. Yeah, really quite happy with this purchase. And let's talk about disadvantages. The only disadvantages, and I knew when I was getting this that this was going to be a disadvantage, is that since I am screwing in all of the the metal cage, effectively we're putting it in a cage, is that I can't charge wirelessly anymore because the back plate is on the back. And if you look at my wireless charger, this hi-fi looking thing, it doesn't charge anymore. There is I think it tries to do something with the front, but I don't think it's charging, so it knows that it's not gonna work out. But that's okay. I do like wireless charging, but I'm not beholden to it. Maybe this case I'll see how it goes for some time, and then we'll see how long we want to keep it. But definitely this is gonna get some eyeballs for sure. My previous case, I literally walked into an Apple store and just set it down, and people were asking where they could buy this case. So let's see how many reacts this get. That's pretty much it. Quite happy with this purchase. Quite well made. I'll put this guy out for a while, give this guy a test run, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you're likely to get? I'll put links to the product in the comments or in the description below, so that if you are interested, you can go pick it up for yourself and give it a spin. Cool. That's all for me. Oh, give it a spin. Oh, it's gonna end with that spin. Terrible. Let's not do that. Yep. That's all for me then. Have a great day. Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.